The thing that sets a good hero apart from a great one is the quality of their villains. Sure, being super strong or being able to fly is cool, but it's the rogues that heroes face that set Superman and Green Lantern apart. Let's face it, the life of the villain is just as cool as the hero's, if not cooler. Sure, the hero gets a tower or a bat cave, but the villains get secret layers too, and they use them to plot, scheme, and throw awesome parties. They also get to have a pretty wild life with no responsibilities, running around town blowing stuff up. Maybe, just maybe, they may even get to rule the world someday. Be honest, haven't you ever wanted to be a bad guy at one time or the other? How many of you were stuck in traffic or long queues and thought Thanos was right? It's good to be bad. Every great hero needs great villains, and when it comes to superhero comics, the supervillains that go up against the likes of Batman, Spider Man, Avengers, Justice League, and more are often just as popular as their heroes themselves. The best supervillains of all time transcend their individual nemesis as great characters in their own right, many of whom have been elevated into starring roles over the years. Villains such as Doctor Doom, Lex Luthor, Joker, and many more are as iconic as their heroic enemies, and that is just scratching the surface. We at Entertainment Reviewed love a good supervillain, so we have taken it upon ourselves to make our picks for the 10 best comic book supervillains of all time. Who is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Thanos.
If I ask you to what end? Dread it? Run from it? Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
With half of the universe wiped out with a snap of his fingers, Thanos certainly has the largest kill count of any supervillain. After building up to him through more than dozen movies, the big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe didn't disappoint when he stole the show in Infinity War. And it took the Avengers 2 whole movies to defeat him.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
Josh Brolin's character certainly left a mark on Earth's mightiest heroes and the worldwide box office as the Avengers Endgame became one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Joker. The Joker has terrorized Batman and Gotham City in comic pages since 1940. His psychopathic, chaotic clown prince of crime was the perfect foil to Christian Bale's Batman. Remember, never ask how he got his cards, and if he asks if you want to see a magic trick, always say no.
What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
But long before he was clown prince of memes, the Joker was legitimately terrifying villain who developed into perfect opposite number for Batman, embodying a sort of colorful chaos that makes him a true nemesis for the Dark Knight's chaotic determination. It's his insanity and lack of clear motives that make the Joker the greatest villain of all time. His unpredictability and lack of concern for even his own safety makes him one of the four that has proven to be Batman's greatest nemesis.
What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with you,
loner
folks. That's
with a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash!
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get!
Call the police.
You get what you fucking deserve!
Bane.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
It was tough following the Joker in The Dark Knight, but Tom Hardy's Bane was up to the challenge in The Dark Knight Rises. After all, Batman nearly adopted the darkness. Bane was born in it.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
At first glance, Bane is a muscle guy in a ridiculous mask. But he is so much more. He is one of the few villains to do the unthinkable. He completely and utterly defeated Batman. It wasn't just use of brawn either. He studied his prey, watched for weakness, until he set up a series of events which caused Batman to run around Gotham until he was exhausted, and then Bane struck. Not only did he break Batman's spine over his knee, he also deduced his secret identity and broke him psychologically as well as physically.
Your spirit? Oh, your buddy!
Strong, smart, cunning, and ruthless, Bane is as much an equal to Batman of any of his villains. Lex Luthor.
I don't know! I would not let them tell me! Now, if you kill me, Martha dies. And if you fly away, Martha also dies. But if you kill the bat, Martha lives.
Part evil corporate overlord, part sinister super scientist, and all arrogance, Luthor's character has come to a poetic expression of humanity's modern day ills wrapped in a package of smug superiority. Luthor is not just a great foil for Superman, he's a perfect villain, even above and beyond his heroic counterpart. Pretty much a Bond villain before Bond villains were even a thing, Lex Luthor is one of the greatest villains of DC Universe. Despite his villainous nature, Lex is a charming and charismatic billionaire who once held the office of President of United States of America. Bringing various superhumans under his influence by exploiting their patriotism, he even managed to make Superman an enemy of the state.
Beaten by a mere man. Oh, I beat you. Me, Lex Luthor!
Look, the God of Mischief may not totally be a villain anymore, but Tom Hiddleston's performance still merits a spot on all-time best list. Starring out as a bad guy in Thor, Loki graduated from battling his adopted brother to taking on the Avengers. However, he proved he is not always a lying trickster and helped out the good guys in the Thor Ragnarok. Fans love Loki so much, he even got his own solo series on Disney+. Thanks to MCU, these days Loki is unquestionably known best as a reformed villain, more of an anti-hero with a tarnished heart of gold than an out-and-out menace. But for decades, millennia if you count, their mythological counterpart, Loki was one of the most mischievously merciless villains in Marvel Comics.
I wouldn't. You really think I cared about Frigga? About any of you? Beat.
As a primary antagonist not just for Thor but for entire Marvel universe, even serving as the villain who brought together the original Avengers. Dr. Doom.
Mankind did its best to defend itself against Doom, but even their greatest weapons were as nothing before Doom's power.
Marvel's masked menace, Dr. Doom, is many things in many guises. Ruthless dictator, brilliant scientist, gifted magician, and all-around villain par excellence. In many ways, a leading man just as much as a nemesis to the Fantastic Four, Doom is something of an inversion of the pre-superhero pulp adventurer archetype. Part of what makes Doom such an appealing villain is that his sheer ability, his actual competence and skill makes him exciting and engaging to readers even beyond his iconic visuals. But every time we get close to Doom, he does something so unequally evil that it reminds us when he's a bad guy to begin with. Apocalypse.
Elohim, Shin, Ra. I've been called many names over many lifetimes.
With a name like Apocalypse, you know he is not going to fall under cute and cuddly category of a comic book characters. Often enormously referred as the first mutant, En-Sabah Nur was born in ancient Egypt at the time of the Great Pyramid's construction. His tribe believed him to be a freak due to his facial markings and threw him into the desert to die while he was still a child. Apocalypse took several identities over the centuries, often assuming the names of gods or becoming the inspiration for the myths and legends. His goal was always the same: to provoke conflict so that the weak would die and the strongest survive, therefore making humanity stronger. Mystique. Mystique is truly the ultimate female fatale, a highly skilled operative with the power to become anyone she wants and the will to use her abilities in pursuit of her own complex goals. Like many of the best modern supervillains, Mystique motives and her even allegiances have often been entangled and complicated. But at her core, Mystique always moves with her own best interest and those of her many layered plans at heart. Mystique is a master manipulator and despite her many misdeeds often manages to get a second chance from those who should have written her off years ago, especially her foster daughter Rogue and her son Nightcrawler. Galactus. Galactus is a massive being who devours the life force of planets, but even more than that, in the years since his creation, Galactus' existence has become a platform for some of the most interesting philosophical stories ever told in Marvel Comics, raising questions of why a being of such destructive power is even necessary part of Marvel's cosmic order. Not much says bad guy like the desire to eat a planet, not driven by anything as trivial as God or evil. Galactus is driven by an insatiable hunger. A hunger that can only be temporarily be satisfied by the consumption of the energies of whole planets. Which would be okay, if not for the sentient being that live on those planets. Honorable mentions. Before we get into the honorable mentions, there is a small request from my side. If you are watching till here, I assume that you like our content. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel as it boosts our confidence and encourages us to bring more content like this for you. Magneto. Calling Magneto simply a villain is a bit of simplification. Over the years, Magneto's role in the Marvel Universe has been varied significantly over the decades since 1963 debut in X-Men, to the point where he is even been out and out hero and member of the X-Men team. It is sometimes hard to see Magneto as a villain. In his mind, he is simply defending the people to ensure that Holocaust like the one he grew up in never occurs again. Magneto was one of the few survivors of the Holocaust the Nazis perpetrated against the Jews. He saw from a young age humanity's potential to harm those we see as different and adopted the philosophy that mutants would suffer the same fate if they did not band together and fight back. While it's hard not to root for him at times, he has done some pretty evil things which are hard to forgive. Darkseid.
Darkseid knew every part of our plan. Those things that attacked us were half parademon, half doomsday.
There are more definitive supervillains than Darkseid. Lex Luthor is a perennial thorn in Kal-El's side, while Doomsday succeeded in killing him, and yet no other foe strikes much fear into the Man of Steel and his comrades in the Justice League than the dread Lord of Apocalypse. Darkseid is incredibly powerful, fearsomely intelligent, and utterly ruthless in his quest to bend all of reality to his will. Thanos may be the Xerox, but Darkseid is a real deal. Able to match Superman blow for blow, Darkseid is a foe that Justice League really don't want to tangle with. Despite his raw power, Darkseid is highly strategic and often employs agents to do his bidding, while he manipulates events from the behind the scenes.
Perhaps you'd serve me better as a mindless drone.
I am still your most competent acolyte, Lord Darkseid.
His special interest in Earth, specifically his beliefs that within their collective consciousness exist the fragments of the anti-life equation, has led him to conflict with the Justice League. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked our content. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Your one gesture will motivate us to create more content like this. Thank you.